Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good to have you all back. Um, Please forgive me about this hair. Jeez, the heck. Thank you for your support. We're banging up to 1,000. I appreciate all the help to you people all around the world. People around the world, join in on the truth train. Truth train. People around the world, come on, let's go get it. I appreciate it. Hit the like button, support, or just hit any button that's out there, okay? Look at this wig. You know I got problems. I got to tell you guys a story. I don't even know if it's funny. It's kind of both, but it's not a mob story. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for the slurps. Forgive me for everything. Just concentrate on the story, okay? Not the messenger. Um, there's a guy from the racetrack, Brian. His real name, Brian. Good guy. Uh, got his own company uh, in the physical labor thing. Concrete. Go around the track, got to know him. Um, they had an OTB, and he used to come. We would talk. Just generally a nice guy, good sense of humor. Uh, Maybe 5'10". Built like a UFC fighter. Had his own concrete business. And forgive me, I don't think he ever will watch this, but forgive me if you do. I love you, bro. Okay? So we're friendly, talking, everything, and nice guy. Blah, 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 boom, boom, boom. I don't see him for a while. Fast forward, I don't see him for a while. People come and go in the mix, and it's understandable. And I asked a couple mutual friends, and they said, I asked them, they said, oh no, well, he's going through some things right now. And I said, oh, okay. Well, tell him Joe said hello if you see him, blah, blah, blah. So about 2 years later, I run into him at the track. And now let me put out there, anybody that has any kind of physical quirk or ticks, some people could have a tick or anything like that. Please forgive me. To I don't mean to do anything like that's him. Come on. Really, Billy? I live in the Twilight Zone. I can't even stop the call. I can't even stop the call. What the? You hit the red to stop, it don't stop. You wonder why I'm nuts? Now, I don't mean to downplay anybody that has any type of tics or physical challenging things. So I see him and I says, hey, how have you been and everything? And he says, everything's real good. Now, we're going to exchange the word because I don't want to swear on here. We're going to change the word SLUT to SLOT. Okay, are you with me? Good morning, Mauricio. Are you with me? Michael Candinas, good morning. I'm telling a story here about a friend of mine, and hadn't seen him for a while. I saw him again from the races, and he had a tick. Now, hang in there with me. We're going to exchange the word SLUT for SLOT. Jimmy Bourgeois, just tell it. All right, we're going to tell it. So, SLUT equals slot equals SLUT. He says, "Me, how you doing, Joe? Slot. I said, "Brad, what's going on?" I said, "I haven't seen you in a while." "Hey, Roseanne." I said, "I haven't seen you in a while." "No, I had some problems. I got a divorce. Slot. I'm going, "What the heck?" And he says, I says, "Well, what happened?" And he's going, "Well, I want to gamble. He's a bruiser. And one of his close friends comes by over here, hears it, and from behind him, he's going, "Joe, no. And so I get I backpedal. I says, "Okay, I understand. I want to gamble. That's my buddy. He went through some mess. Good guy though. Good-hearted guy." So we end up at the casino because there was an OTB, and then down the street was the casino back then. And he liked to drink. He liked to drink wine. He should go and see Mike Francis. He liked to drink wine. And he got loosened up, and he told me this story, how he got the tick, where he would talk and say slot. And then when he would drink, he would hit his forehead. He would hit with a big jackhammer arm, and do this slot, and he'd be hitting the button slot. And I mean, the drunker he would get, he would bam, he would smash. And I'm going, what? So I get him one day. He couldn't start. His truck broke down out in the parking lot. So we're talking normally. I said, "Brad, buddy, what happened? What happened?" He said he was going to work one morning. He was going to work, and he worked for himself. Concrete driveways, whatever, concrete. He forgot something. He come back to his house about an hour later, and he come into the house. He was going to grab the stuff in the kitchen, and he heard some commotion upstairs. So he runs upstairs. You can guess. His wife is cheating on him in bed. Terrible, dirty hoe. And things like that'll make a guy whatever. So he goes to attack this guy. This guy jumps out of this second story window. This guy jumps out of a second story window. Bry runs downstairs and gets a butcher knife and goes upstairs. His wife run into the bathroom, and he was stabbing into the door. Slot, you slot. And it was very traumatic. You slot, and I'm going, "What? Are you serious?" And he's going, "Yeah." He got admitted. He got admitted to a psych place for 30 days where they do that hygiene thing or whatever, or but he got out. and this traumatic episode stuck in his mind. And when he talked, he would say, "Oh, geez, what do you like in the fourth race? Slot, slot, slot." I got used to it. After a while. Well, I like the four. It was that's just him. That's his quirk, tick, quirk, whatever. And and then this thing that he was doing, I think that quirk was the stabbing motion on the door with the butcher knife. I mean, because he would do this. And one day we're at the casino and he's getting blottoed, and he was sitting, there are women and stuff, and he's saying slot, slot, slot. And he told me, "Joe, listen, sometimes it gets locked in to his brain." Now, this sounds crazy. I'm telling you, this sounds crazy. He said, sometimes it gets locked in, and he says, if you're with me, budge me, and then he'll get out, he'll get stuck, slot, 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 and then he's pounding his slot, 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 and then hit him, and then it's a reset button. I don't know. And one night, my uncle, I shouldn't say that, my great uncle was the manager there. Now, these women, he would go to this part, you move around in the casino, you go to this area, go to that area, you go to this area, you go to that area. He had 45 complaints on him at the security desk. So my great uncle was the manager there. So he tracks down Brian and me. He says, "Well, what's going on, Jojo? Is this guy all right?" And by this time, Brian cut himself up here somehow, and he had blood, and it was on his shirt. He looked like a psychopathic killer maniac, and he had the blood. And my uncle said, "What?" And he said, "Well, he keeps swearing and everything." And Bry went to the bathroom, and I'm talking to my uncle, and I said, he's got this quirk, and he smashes himself. And, excuse me, when he gets drunker, he smashes himself harder, and he keeps saying slot. He says, "Well, oh, jeez, he's got this goofy thing, this goofy quirk." And my uncle, the nicest guy, just a great, upright man. And he says, "Well, try to just bring him into the smoker room down in the corner, because we're getting complaints every 5 minutes. And these old ladies or people in general, they just, there's husbands and wives." And he's saying slot, 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 slot. And they're like, a couple guys kind of, but Brian was big and burly, but a couple guys was like, "Excuse me, could you please stop?" And he was like, "I got a problem, slot, slot, slot. It's medical, slot, 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 slot." Is this story sad or funny? I don't know. Thank you, Mr. L. And it's funny how the brain works. And there's another story not related to that, but it's with Brian. Me and Joey T, God rest Joey T. We used to hang around Brian, good guy, same guy. And we would, yeah, it is kind of sad. But he was well adjusted and everything else. Good guy. Christian man too. So me and Joey T, we used to hang out, have fun, and it's funny. Okay, that my man Jim, and he would play these machines for hours, for hours. He was trying to get this jackpot on a machine that never gets hit. It never gets hit, and he's putting $100 bills in it like there's no tomorrow. And I'm saying, what, that's slots. That's that's slots. But I get this. I don't have it in my wallet. I always keep this Guardian Protector little metal thing that clings onto my wallet like a angel protector, saint, little metal clip on with a saint on there. So I says, Brian, I'm going to have to pull this little saint thing out. I could only use it once a year, but I'm going to help you out to get this jackpot. And they're laughing. Brian and Joey T, they're laughing at everything. I'm like, oh, okay. So I put the saint thing and I touch it, bang, 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 bang. 10 spins, you got to get in. You got to get into this type of bonus, and then these things will spin. And usually it's heartbreak. You'll get right to the last thing, and then it's like, oh, like who didn't know that was going to happen? So he gets in, he qualifies, he gets in, boom, straight across $17,000. I said, well, was it the saint, or it was going to happen anyways? Because those machines are programmed, of course, but it makes me believe anyways. I don't care. So that was the story of that poor guy. He had signed out for a while, then he came back. I saw him before I got barred from that dump over there. I saw him, and we caught up on some things, and we were talking, and he wasn't saying slot, slot, slot. And I didn't even realize it until I left. We were talking, he's got children, and you see people, how's this, who's that? You catch up on things. I didn't even realize he wasn't saying slot, slot, slot. I didn't even realize it. It was a little 5-minute dialogue, and then when I left, I was thinking, it was good to see my man, and I was like, where's the slot, slot, slot? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he got hypnotized, and I don't know. So, Jimmy, good to have you in here. Mr. L, Roseanne, Michael K, Dennis, Mauricio. Not a mob story. I get sick of the mob stories once in a while. Starts telling some other stuff here. A lot of interesting things, and we'll get there. And I got a message the other day when I did that story about that guy that was talking about cannibalism and all this kind of crazy stuff. Really weirded out story. And I got a message from a friend that said he knew the guy's brother or cousin brother. He knew him or something, and he said that time frame of that story that nobody saw him after that. Nobody saw that guy. It was one and done. But that's understandable when you got these crime families and they're bebopping around New York. They end up anywhere. They just end up anywhere. You don't know where these guys end up. And it doesn't have to be a prison or a coffin. It doesn't have to, but they just geographically migrate. Different things. So I wanted to throw a little story, say hello to my friends here, and throw that in about Brian. Slot, 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 boom, 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 boom. Yeah, my great uncle, he was like, why me? Why me? There's 50 complaints over there. He's going, why me? Why me? Put him in the corner. Well, I'm going to tell you. Do you remember him, Fred? Fred, do you remember him? You were around. Do you remember Brian? Well, I don't know if you were around or not. You've been around a long time. Joey T used to try to hustle him. Oh, okay. T-Bird used to try to hustle him. God rest his soul. But yeah, that was too much. Too much. And when you saw this, if I had a picture, my uncle had him in the corner to play the machine, removed from most of the people. And by the time it was over, he had wine. He had wine on his shirt from being whatever. He had a white t-shirt. He had wine wet, dry all over him. He had blood coming down on him all over the place. He was sweating. It was totally nuts. And he used to get locked in, bet slot, and you gotta hit him. I was leaving. I was going to the smoke room to have a smoke, and this dude was like two machines over, and he was looking, and he was kind of trying to play it off like, he's hitting the button like, mm, what's going on with this guy? Is this, candid camera or something? And I said, hey, buddy, I got to go in the smoking room. And if he gets locked in, hit him. Hit him so he can reset and get his bearings. Oh, the cannibal guy. He ate himself to death, Fred. Fred, we're pushing 1,000, bro. Pushing 1,000. That's all. That's too bad about my buddy Carl, man. You used to know him too, Fred. He used to be rocking and rolling. You've been around. Yeah. Oh, well, what can we do? Good man. Good, lovable guy, boy. He come in a room, that smile would light the whole room up, and he was ready to have fun. Yeah, that cannibal guy, he was never to be seen again. Never. I think he was trying to trap me or something. I don't know. Old man Sam was like, wait there. I got someone to come pick you. I'm driving. No, wait till this guy comes. Don't leave anywhere. Don't leave anywhere. Yeah. I don't know, man. Is it just it's just normal human behavior, and some of these guys just happen. This type of stuff could happen to anybody in human society, but they just happen to have these wild behaviors. They're just humans first and not gangsters. Yeah. That was the Dahmer routine. You tell the stories, it's human behavior first. And then, of course, you melt in gangster stuff, because being a gangster had nothing to do with this guy talking about human flesh and all of that kind of. Some of these guys were aggressive. They would try to intimidate you or something, and then see if you get real scared, and then laugh or whatever, like, just to break the cayunes and things like that. And I'm waiting for him to start laughing. Did I get you, Joe, or whatever? And I'm like, no, this guy's serious. This guy's serious.
He's looking at my skinny forearm like a chicken wing. Maybe he wants to put some hot sauce on it. Maybe you need a chicken wing. Gino, you need a chicken wing here. Holy cow. So I want to get something in here today for the good people that come in. And Fred, I suggest you get a taser if you're going to keep going to Batavia Downs, all right? Thank you, Joel. Thank you, buddy. Get a taser. Tell Henry the next promotion, get 10 points. Get a taser, okay, bro? Get a taser. I don't know how, well, that sounds like a long shot. Ain't nobody, no, it's going to be a hot summer. People are going to be running around that Batavia Downs sloshed. Anything could happen at any time. So, yeah, it's a long shot, but I got to get some in. All right. So what else we got? Slot. Oh, I had to ask Bri if he ever saw that guy that he was cheating, the guy that was cheating with his wife. And he said no, he never saw him. I says, were you gonna try to try? He says no, because it was a spur of the moment. But then after that, he got a divorce. No kidding, he got a divorce, and now got a beautiful now boom, perfect. The guy deserved good, generous Christian man. Deserved to have a good family and everything. So. What else we got, folks? This just in. The women's basketball tournament. This is off topic. Did the LSU women refuse to stand for the national anthem? Did anybody catch that? This just in on the newswire. Did anybody catch that? Then they got Angel Reese. You got smacked down by Caitlin Clark. You got smashed down. Yeah. And their coach, Culkin, whatever. Bye-bye, Angel Reese and the LSU, whatever the hell they are. They're playing that again? What are they they didn't even come out to the court for it. They didn't come out. You're playing a sport, you're getting a free education. Well, the women's basketball viewership, college, is rising. But when you get to the WNBA, it's crickets. It's crickets. Women's college basketball is more exciting. When you get to the WNBA, they're missing layups. They're missing 3-foot jump. They're missing layups. But they're subsidized by the NBA. So they're still pulling them quirks, huh? They didn't even come out on the court. Yeah. And then they're at the news conference. Oh, you're so big and bad. And then remember when Angel Reese, what she did to Caitlin Clark when they were after the game, and she did this gesture like, you can't see me, Caitlin Clark. Well, she saw you the last game. And now you're crying afterwards. And then you don't even go out on the court for the national anthem. What is this? And the NCAA doesn't do anything about it because they're all woked up. They're whacked out. What is this? Yeah. But I don't know who's going to beat South Carolina. I don't know, man. South Carolina, that's just another Yeah. Here's Angel Reese. Yeah. Now you're crying. Yeah. The news conference. Yeah. The WNBA, it ain't gonna gain momentum. You've had bigger stars enter into the WNBA draft, and it's crickets. They put them in these arenas. You couldn't start a card game with the attendance of people in those arenas. It ain't a viable product. It it ain't the standard. Now I have one daughter. It's not like I'm not pro woman or anything like that. Everybody has a right to thrive, whatever gender, but they just make all this this whatever they're doing is crazy in the media and all that. But it's just that it's obvious. I'm not hating uh the the statistics will say it that the team that won the title for the WNBA a couple years back, they still couldn't even get a eighth of a crowd in attendance, and they won it all. They want to subsidize that. Yeah. Then the players were complaining that they weren't getting an equal salary as the NBA players. Well, geez, you don't attract anything. You can't attract flies. Well, what do you want? $10 million contracts? The stands are empty. And they're complaining we don't get equal pay. It ain't the same product. It's not the same product. It's apples and oranges. What's wrong with everybody? What's wrong with everybody? Yeah. So I don't know. A lot of great women college basketball players went to the WNBA, big high profile names. It didn't raise the viewership or attendance for those teams. Didn't raise it. Maybe where Caitlin Clark goes, when Caitlin Clark goes to the WNBA, I'd like to see her just slap all those other woke haters around. I'd like to see that. That'd be nice. And she will too. She ain't playing that woke out, whacked out. She ain't playing none of that. She's just gonna go in there and just get her do what she does. So yeah, I thought I saw that. I was like, what? And that Mama Luke coach up there, holy cow. But it's gonna be tough to beat who's left? UConn, South Carolina, NC State. Can you imagine the men and women NC State? Who'd have ever thought that? I believe in the Final Four. Or Elite Eight, maybe now Final Four. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw that in because it's sickening. I wanted to throw it in because it's sickening. Yeah. So go ahead, Angel Reese, and do. Oh, yeah, you can't see me, Caitlin Clark. You can't see me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Terrible. And Caitlin Clark is classy, and she's classy. She could have taunted her. But she was still willing after the game to say, good game, sportsmanship and class. Yeah. Go sign your contract, Angel Reese, and you'll just be an average player in a mediocre WNBA, and that's that. God bless you. That's all. So, thank you, folks, for coming on in. FW Fred, Jimmy Boudreau, Joel Gold, Roseanne Ash. All right. Yep. You're the only female in here today. Go watch your WNBA. Just kidding, Roseanne. You know me. Thank you. You always come in and help me out. You said that story was sad. It's sad and funny to me. Well, we're buddies. Me and him are buddies. So, I mean, I don't want him to do that. But he seemed fine last month. Thank you, Al, for doing that. Mr. Candinas, thank you. All right, folks, you know what I say. You know what I say. Be the kings and queens of your world. Don't give up. Keep striving to reach your goals and everything. So, yeah, I'll keep going, Jimmy Boudreau, if you give me a super chat. All right, I'll keep going. I'll keep going. All right. We got some other stories coming down the road. You know how we do it. And I was wondering, Steve Will Do It. You don't watch this, but my family, my brother knew him down in Florida. But Steve Will Do It is back on YouTube. Well, Steve Will Do It's a cool dude. Yeah, and he had a huge YouTube channel. And I was watching some things on Facebook, and there was a short in there, and it said Steve will do something. I don't know if Steve Will Do It's back, but that's that. So, best wishes for Steve Will Do It to rise up again and do his thing, and his parents, I hope you're doing well. Also, it's been a long time no see. And MB and Big Steve, and all the children. So that's it. I'll talk to you next time. Stay great and keep pushing, and we're all going to get to the top. Thank you, folks.